So usually I talk about how to become a data analyst, but what kind of opportunities open up after you do become a data analyst? And for the sake of the video, we're going to be looking at just Google jobs because, well, they have a lot of jobs, they have a lot of data on their jobs, a lot of salary data, so we can kind of decipher how Google does it and apply that general rule to other companies and other positions. So according to Glassdoor, there were 445 people reporting having a data analyst job at Google. And those salaries paid anywhere from $127,000 to $214,000. I wish. And while that's nearly double what I make as an entry-level data analyst, we can assume that this is just the entry-level pay for a data analyst or a junior data analyst at Google. So what other options do you have from here other than just waiting for eventual raises? Well, there's a few. The first one being that you can show your skills off enough, or you can work there long enough to become a senior data analyst. And here we can see there's 29 people who reported being a senior data analyst at Google, with the average pay being $153,000 to $244,000. And so you can see that range just bumps up, $30,000 to $40,000. So that's a nice increase to become a senior data analyst. But then what? For these people who become senior data analysts, where can they move from there? Is there any room to move up? Is there room to move into a different role? Well, typically, a lot of people go from a data analyst job to a data scientist job. Well, this requires a little bit more skills, maybe a little bit more responsibility. It also comes with a much higher pay. And we can see that here in the jobs at Google. There were 527 salaries submitted for data scientists, and we can see that range goes from $188,000 to $310,000. This is significantly higher than even the senior data analyst. Now, why, you ask? I don't know, ask Google, but if it was up to me, it's because data scientists probably wear a lot of different hats, they have a lot more responsibilities, and well, data analysts probably just take historical data and kind of map that out and get an idea of where they're at, where data scientists oftentimes are looking into the future and trying to predict what's going to happen next. And so you can assume in a company like Google, these people are more trained, they're more experienced, they have higher education, and for that reason, they get paid more. But what if instead of switching jobs, you don't want to do that? You kind of want to move up the hierarchy of Google. Well, that's where something like moving up to a manager position or a more senior level position comes into play. And so we can see that we have 483 manager salaries reported at Google with a range of $191,000 to $345,000. And sure, this probably includes positions that aren't data related. We're just going to kind of assume that a manager makes somewhere in that range. And so if you were somebody who started as a mid-level data analyst at Google, you start off at $130,000, and then maybe you get a raise or a promotion as a senior data analyst. You make somewhere around $160,000, maybe a $30,000 raise, $40,000 raise. And then you can see if you move up to a manager position, that's another $30,000 to $40,000 on top of that. And of course, within these positions, there's wiggle room, there's negotiating, there's level of experience at the position or at the company. These are all factored in when coming into a salary. And if you want to see how you can negotiate your salary, let me know down in the comments. But if not, watch this video next because you can actually see how I got my first data analyst job and how I'm starting to think about these other things that we talked about in this video.